Hey yo, what's good? This Order of Opinion. And if you're just tuning in, today we're almost concluding our rankings and breakdowns of the X-Men cinematic universe. Yeah, the XCU. I finally got it off.
If this is a relay, we are the last guy to get the dildo. That's for sure.
Like I said, yeah, today... that one threw me off, I'm not gonna lie. Did you just say a dildo relay?
Yeah, no, relay as if it were the baton. Which is the dildo.
You just made me forget everything I was just about to say. Yeah, the rankings breakdowns of X-Men. We have broke down every X-Men movie so far. This is our
number 2.
40 second episode?
42nd, yeah.
42nd episode. Check out our previous breakdowns and rankings on all the other X-Men movies. That's episodes 33 through 41 so far. The last one was The Gaze of Future Past. And
the first one was The Amazing Logan.
Yeah, Logan. Check all those out. Check out all of our episodes on all of the movies we've done so far. We've done Star Wars, Harry Potter, and MCU, and that's episodes 1 through fucking 32. All right, you can fucking they're there.
Just read.
They say Star Wars on the title and Harry Potter, so you should sort of know. And also look out for the next series coming up, which surprisingly is pretty fucking good. Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I did not.
We're doing that,
those.
Starting with the Fake and the Furious, because every fucking I'm not even gonna talk about it, but every goddamn stunt seems like Ninja Turtles.
It seems
like Michael Bay stepped in with Ninja Turtles. Like, yeah, that's what I gotta do.
What I learned from Fast and Furious, it seems like every movie, every stunt, and every scene is trying to better or top the thing before it.
Just like we are with how offensive we're getting.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
So, you know how you can do all this? What I'm saying? Fucking subscribe.
Just fucking get
That's
on
how
there,
you
man.
Just fucking subscribe, okay? And don't just subscribe. Be an active subscriber. You know, download our shit.
Try to be active, unless you're like some ex-NFL player hanging in a cell somewhere.
Eliminate all the podcasts on your deck and only keep us. All right?
We won't murder you. We will your family.
Unless you want Tim to kill himself like Aaron Hernandez.
Oh, I will. Me and him talked about it, and he was like, bro, you know what you should do is just fucking hang yourself. I was like, bro, that's
kill your best friend for nothing, and don't get rid of the security cameras, and then when people find out you may have killed him, then try and get rid of the security cameras conspicuously, and that's how you get caught. Yeah, speaking of fucking Aaron Hernandez, he fucking killed himself.
He's dead. And if this news...
What was funny is I tweeted, and didn't get no likes or retweets on this, because I didn't hashtag anything. Hashtag drive-by. I put when Aaron Hernandez beat these other 2 murders out of the 19 murders he has fucking pending. He's got a DMV line for his murders.
He has tickets for his murders. Now taking 5.
Like the way that they showed him get acquitted for it, he's like, yeah,
right?
Fuck yeah.
He looks happy.
Like, bro, for what?
You're still in jail.
Like, can you get better food with the less murders? I don't get it. Because, motherfucker, you're still in prison for life for murdering somebody. You sick fuck. I don't give a fuck if you're dead. You know why? Because you murdered people.
He did murder, You
shot your friend's eye out and then fucked the eye socket.
Oh, did he? I hope so. He cut his friend's head off and then ran a touchdown with it. 100 yards.
What's funny about Aaron Hernandez is, just to get a little sporty and nerdy real quick, he could have been the greatest NFL player of all time. I'm not even fucking around.
He was paired up with what, Gronk?
Well, not just paired up with Gronk. Like, he was a better receiving tight end than Gronk. Like, Gronk can break tackles. He's fucking a cyborg. He's a Terminator.
I know they would have been unstoppable together if they just stuck it out.
Aaron Hernandez was fast as fuck. They would put Aaron Hernandez at running back sometimes, at fullback.
Was he play tight end?
He was a tight end that was like, a receiver. He just could have been the truth. Instead, he's a psychopath.
He couldn't handle his shit.
He's an actual real-life pit bull. Yeah. He's just a fucking psychopath.
And then it's like, when you saw the first trial, he was sitting there like, I don't give a fuck.
And look at him, bro. He's fucking, oh my God, he's a thug. He's an actual thug. And I know, pretty much the NFL is known for thugs.
They don't
like
care.
They're just known for jackals.
The Raiders are an entire team of thugs.
Like that dude that Dante Stallworth, it was a while ago, he like murdered somebody in a DUI case.
Yeah.
Some shit. And that's what people were all pissed about. It was like, oh, Michael Vick can slaughter some fucking dogs, and he gets about 3 fucking years in his whole image and career ruin, but this asshole that murdered an old dude driving drunk played the next year.
Right?
So, the NFL sort of sketch. And just thinking about that, if Aaron Hernandez got acquitted somehow from his other murder, they probably would let him play.
Yeah. I mean, if they'd lost the championship, he would have just killed himself.
But yeah, he hung himself.
Yeah.
So, sucks for you, Aaron. You're a fucking asshole because you could have been one of the best. He was one of my favorite players in the NFL.
Yeah.
How many fucking people could say, this is how cool the Patriots are. How many fucking people could say that the 2 best players on their team are their 2 tight ends? It's the most random shit I've ever heard.
Fucking, yeah, it's like saying, like, we have the 3 best kickers in the league, and that's what makes our team great.
Right?
We only onside.
Or like in hockey and soccer, like, yeah, we have the 2 best defensemen.
Yeah.
We're not going to lose.
We'll never lose. This guy can kick the ball away from the other guy really well.
So, yeah, and if you want to hear more of this malarkey, just fucking subscribe, right? And if you're on iTunes and Stitcher right now, follow us on SoundCloud, because I'll follow anybody. Even if your shit says Batwing Dick, I'll fucking... Or I may molest children, I'd probably be like, hey, dude, you should probably change that title, but I'll still follow you.
If you're a 40-year-old, 300-pound white guy that thinks he's Batman, I'll add you.
Yeah, speaking of that, I've just been following a fuckload of people on Facebook. I'm just following randos at this point. Just building the shit.
Why not?
I was initially like, here's what I thought when we had our Facebook account. I initially was thinking, what if I just do what people do, what I think people do in Facebook, is I'm just going to add a bunch of hot bitches, and then people will see my profile has hot bitches, and they're like, oh, that guy's cool, and then fucking follow me.
That was this Grease? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, if
guy.
I'm Grease, you're Kaneki. That's for goddamn sure. And then later, 40 years from now, you're going to die of a fucking drug overdose and be in a wheelchair your fucking last 20 years of your life and be miserable. And still have the same Grease hair.
It's very possible.
Because that's what the guy who played Kaneki, his life became.
Just an alcoholic.
And of course, I think his wife was Asian. Like every other disabled white guy. His wife has to be Asian.
Was it Xavier's?
Wait, why did we even talk about Kaneki and Grease? What was the point of that? What did I say?
You were saying that we were adding hot bitches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you can follow us on Twitter. To you podcasters out there that are fags, you can follow us and then unfollow us. And then I'm going to actually go now and find you and then unfollow your bitch ass.
Maybe.
And then how about I play the same game with you, motherfucker?
We'll find you. We'll rape your family.
Some of your podcasts are fucking doing that to me, and I swear to God, if I saw you in real life, I'd beat the fucking shit out of you. I really would.
I would.
How fucking gay are you? How gay is that? Like, for real.
I'll
unfollow somebody if they don't follow me after a while. Like, that's okay.
Yeah,
I can understand somebody doing that. But for you to fucking follow me, and then if I follow you back just to be like, hey, man, I just want to fucking... I'm not an asshole. You followed me. I'm going to follow you back. You don't seem like some Japanese girl showing off her pussy pubes. Like, be like, hey, come fuck me tonight in fucking Batman's lair. Isn't that cool?
Help, hey. Logan has me hostage. Save me.
It's like, you know what they are already, because their first pinned profile is like, hey, come see my nipples get hard.
Yeah, you want to go on a date tonight? It's like, I know that I don't know where you live, but I'm close. I'm within 5 miles of your location.
Right?
All right.
So if you're that type of fucking asshole that follows us and unfollows us, I'm going to start calling you out on our show. To the hundreds of people that listen.
Maybe they won't like you anymore.
To the lower than 100 people that listen. Whoever
Six
listens,
people that listen.
you Germany and Filipino people, where are you at again?
Are Filipinos.
Apparently, X-Men isn't for the Filipinos and the Germans.
Apparently not. They don't like it, huh? Well, okay. You look at First Class. You did piss off some Germans. You look at Last Stand. We might have pissed off some Filipinos. No, not Last Stand.
Pissed off some Asians.
But Days of Future Past might have pissed off some Pacquiao fans.
It's just race-casm, right? Sarcastic racism. That's all I gotta say about that. Yeah, but all jokes aside, even though it's all it is, and if you can't understand the sarcasm, I don't know what to say. So don't get butthurt, podcast, and leave us a fucking 1-star review, okay? All right?
All right.
We're in the same pyramid scheme you are. We're just joking about it, all right? What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, so follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We put our release schedules there that don't make any sense and never will stick to, but at least they're there, and at least you know what's coming out. So just look out for it. And like I said, just make up some fucking accounts and re-download our shit like 50 times and then play it once, delete it, and then re-download it again.
Please.
Make that cloud button show back up and hit the cloud button again and just fucking keep reading. Because we can't cheat ourselves doing that. We don't have the morality to do that, even though I don't have real morality in actual life. But for the podcast, we'll have fake realities and standards and morals. So you guys do it though.
Yeah, help us out.
If you're a true fan, just give us some fake downloads, so that we can go up to our sponsorships. We'll get sponsored by fucking what's our next sponsorship that we're looking for?
The Toretto Garage.
Hopefully we'll get sponsored by The Mop.
The Mob.
No, The Mop.
The Mop.
Just The Mop.
Just mops in general. The Wikipedia page for Mop sponsors us.
Or we can get sponsored by Mercedes.
That'd be sick.
So, yeah, check those out, and you'll see the release schedule for Fast and Furious pretty soon. We'll try and get that out, like, tomorrow afternoon. Maybe.
Who knows?
If this goes by the date. Everything's retroactive because we're in the days of our futures past.
Yeah.
Days of futures past. So, yeah, check all the episodes out and just fucking subscribe. And follow us on social media. Simple as that.
Just fucking do it.
And if not, like I said, Tim will actually fucking kill himself. And he'll record it.
Yeah, I got some tips.
Unlike Aaron Hernandez, he's not scared to show everyone how he kills himself.
Yep, just like those kids on Facebook.
All right. So, next up, bit of a surprise. How good this movie really is.
I was
taken back at how good the movie is, and I'm talking about X2. It was my number 2 on the list in the XCU, and I gave it an 8.7.
It was number 2 for me as well, and I gave it an 8.5. Yeah, this movie was good.
Yeah, dude, it's really good. Like I could honestly watch it, 5 times and not really be bored. And like the difference with this one and to the X-Men 1 is like when you watch X-Men 1 like now, right?
Yeah.
You see all the bullshit and you see through the seams. But like with X2, it's like it's one of those movies that it's an old school. It's technically old school. It's 13 years old, right? So
Yeah.
you sort of look at it like, dude, this was like dope for that time. Like
yeah.
the CGI, I could barely notice any of it.
There weren't too many scenes where CGI became an issue. It was more of like when they were walking down the floodway. Obviously, that wasn't real.
Yeah.
So there was something like that, or when they were walking, in the what was that, like a generator room?
Yeah.
And Jean Grey fought Cyclops.
Yeah.
That scenery looked.
Dope Boy Cyclops.
Yeah, Dope Boy. He was fresh.
But either way, and this one opposed to X-Men 1 was like very cohesive. The pacing was great. All of the scenes that were going on with the characters not only had character development, but it pushed the plot along and it had a point to it. And it didn't feel like you were watching 7 fucking explanations of people within a movie. It's like and Xavier didn't have to be this fucking narrative machine like he is in X-Men 1. So and Stryker.
Yeah,
right.
Stryker was great. He was wonderful.
Maybe one of the best comic book villains and actors ever.
Oh yeah, he portrayed his character. He was like a dirty Southerner. But somehow rose up through the ranks from his Louisiana Bayou, like, dirt water home, where he drank, like, alligator piss.
At Alcohol Lake.
And alcohol. That's where he grew up there in Alcohol Lake.
That's what Wolverine was more frustrated about when at the Alcohol Lake, because it looked like a goddamn bar to him, and he's like, oh, I can't run up a tab there and run away.
Yeah, no one was there to serve him. Fucking alcoholic. No,
well, because he wouldn't even have been able to buy a beer because he spent all of the money he had for the rest of his life on gas for the motorcycle.
To get his gas filled, exactly.
But either way, like, just overall movie shit, I mean, and it's dark, right? It's sort of dark. There's a lot of, like, family problems.
Yeah.
Problems with the heroes.
Well, to me, it suffered that middle child syndrome, like, of all these trilogies we've seen, where the middle movie, because it doesn't have to start anything, it doesn't have to end anything, ends up being the better movie because they can focus on a story.
I completely feel it. And it's focused.
Yeah.
It's like a focused movie, and it brings forth everything that you thought about these characters: Wolverine, Stryker, Magneto. Magneto's great in this movie too.
Magneto he was probably one of the more, not dramatic as in the way he was acting, but just his themes.
Yeah.
Like, he was great.
And he was like, fuck Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's funny is that's how Magneto would be, right? Because he's looking at Wolverine like, oh, everyone thinks you're this, like, big deal, but it's like, dude, I can rip you in half whenever the fuck I want. And you're a goddamn homeless idiot.
Right? Well, and what's funny, too, about Magneto in this movie is, for the most part, most of the time, he's not really Magneto. He's Eric. Like, there's no metal around him for him to even use his power when he's in the prison.
Yeah.
So he's just delivering these wonderful scenes of, like, sort of being that witty, sarcastic asshole.
He had some jokes. He had some one-liners in this one.
But this is the first time, really, ever, and this is, like, the last time ever, that you actually see him afraid. Like, you can tell he's afraid when Stryker comes in. You can tell he's afraid when he knows.
Because he doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have anything on his side. He's really, like, physically, he's a decrepit old man.
He is.
You know, he just has this metal, power that he could use on anyone. And that's the thing with Magneto. That's what I'm saying, why he hates on Wolverine, because he's like, dude, you're a homeless bum that doesn't do shit, and all you can do is heal yourself. You are a sack of shit, and you're a leech to society.
Yeah, but...
And speaking of which, that's what brings me to my point, is Magneto actually, he has to be at least, like, realistically, within the world, smarter than Xavier. Like, Xavier might be more intelligent and have, like, degrees and all that, but you know those people that are, like, teachers in college, they don't know shit about life, because their whole life's been in school.
True.
So, to me, that's who Xavier, because Magneto, like, when Stryker goes into the you know, we're going to go over the plot, but just when Stryker goes into the cell to use his dildo serum on fucking Magneto's like, are you happy with your taxpayers keeping me comfortable?
Yeah.
You know? So he's, like, aware of shit.
But
you know?
At the same time, he might be as much of a dick as Logan in terms of homelessness, because he's a fugitive, and he's been a fugitive for hell long.
Yeah.
At least Logan...
A Spanish priest.
A Spanish priest fugitive. Because, honestly, every time this fool gets dressed up, he looks like a fucking Spanish priest.
Yeah, he looks like the Padres logo.
Right?
You know, like...
when you went to any mission between, like, when they were built to, like, 1920, that's who you saw.
And he was fucking Mystique at every mission. And that let's speak on that relationship. The ultimate main bitch pimp relationship, right?
Yeah.
She not only is, like, down for Magneto, she does some, like, shit for Magneto. When Magneto's locked up, she's doing some shit. She's figuring out not only how to get Magneto out, but how she can help Magneto kill the humans, which obviously throughout the movie was when they went to go get Stryker was the whole plan.
Yeah.
So,
and what's crazy about that, too, is she totally... It seems like she's just coming up with this plan on her own. She went into Congress and then found out where Eric was and just was like, all right, I'm back.
Well, she was Senator Kelly for like a minute.
Yeah.
She was Senator Kelly for like a year. She pooped to Senator Kelly. She masturbated to Senator Kelly.
Technically, she never revealed herself, so she still could be Senator Kelly. Like,
my thing is, like, does she need outfits, or can she change outfits within Senator Kelly? Like, does she need to have clothes?
I don't know. Sometimes when she changes, she has clothes, and then in what is that? Last Stand or Days of Future Past, she can wear a jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Or something.
Dorothy knows First Class.
First Class.
Yeah,
that's
whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
she can wear a jumpsuit.
So
So if she's can she, when she's wearing the jumpsuit, does it matter who she changes to? Is it like if I'm wearing clothes?
Well, it'd be fucked up. Like, what if she just like fucks up at what at this point? Are they in the 2003?
It's like 2003, 2004.
So what if she just turns out as like a basketball player and just starts hooping as him? Is she as good a basketball player as the basketball player she's replicating?
Well, considering how many times she just fucks people off pure athleticism, like probably.
Yeah. She could probably do a flip and dunk with her 2 feet.
Right? And then slap the ref with her other foot, like as she's hanging on
and flip them off.
Yeah, as she's sliding down the court with the ball.
So
just dribbling hella short dribbles.
So the movie starts off with, yet again, and this one wasn't that bad.
It was still like Star
fucking
Trek.
Xavier goddamn narrative with the closing of the Cerebro doors.
It's just sort of, it is the typical.
This is a television show.
Well, it's
a
the typical
fucking
trailer.
television show.
It's like, in a world. You know, it's that typical television or trailer where it's just like, we're going to trailer our own fucking movie.
Yeah.
And then what's even pisses me off even more about it is like, he had to do that for fucking 7 goddamn years on Star Trek. You can't give this fool a break.
Yeah, right?
Just let him stop doing fucking voiceovers at the beginning of everything. Let him have a movie that's not fucking corny. Like, give this dude a bone.
And credit to credit, he did open up a little bit more in this one. Like, he was a little more jokey. He was a little more lighthearted. It wasn't just this.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart as Professor X worked this time. The one time.
He still was a vulnerability.
But he was a main point.
Yeah,
so
but
it made
like,
sense.
okay, X-Men 1, he gets in his Xavier coma. X-Men 2, he gets captured by the enemy.
And he gets
trying to figure out what's wrong, because he's stupid. He's not smart enough to figure out what's actually going on.
And he hates
thinks
Magneto.
Magneto.
Yeah, he's like, we gotta protect the school from the Magnetos, so I'm gonna fucking fly to him.
And in X-Men 3, he dies.
Yeah.
So he's a useless fucking character in these X-Men movies when he should be like the ultimate team leader, right? It's like, I just feel like they just waste Xavier, but who gives a shit? Because I don't fucking care about Xavier.
No, they make him to be literally one of the worst people in the world. Like, think about it.
And
as you were saying, when they find out that something happened to the president, his first reaction is to be like, well, I know a bad guy, I bet it was him.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
It's like, then it starts off with possibly the greatest scene ever in a comic book movie. Like, ever.
It might be the best scene. Like, possibly is not giving it enough credit for what it was.
And we're talking about the Nightcrawler vice president. Fuck the vice president. I hope he was the one that got stabbed. But the Nightcrawler White House scene. That was great. I mean, the way that the camera angles on how they were like, you know, from that third person perspective, sort of that, like I said, that Martin Scorsese, Goodfellas, like, and the music, it was sort of like haunting at the same time. Like, it was like, you were like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
yeah, the music sounded like the opening credits of a World War II, like Call of Duty, back when Call of Duty was good. Just like this incredible angelic fucking chorus.
Right.
With, you know, big orchestral music. And I like my favorite part of that scene was when he finally gets the president and it all slows down.
Yeah.
Like, that to me might be one of the best slow motion scenes in this, movie.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. And is it racist for Nightcrawler to do whiteface if he's German?
I'm just saying, how did they not notice some dude with like fucking Aztec symbols on his face or whatever the fuck those things are? Or
that and
whatever.
that is angelic symbols bring down by the Archangel Gabriel. No, not only that, but this dude looked like he was about to bomb the place.
Yeah,
regardless.
right. It's like, dude, he's got like 3 coats on, a fucking obvious like makeup face.
Yeah, a hat and sunglasses.
And he's just kicking at the door. They're talking about Abraham Lincoln and shit.
No one is tipped off. Like, there's cameras and there's Secret Service everywhere around the White House, and no one looked at him and was like, that guy
And when the fuck is the president in the White House when shit's going on like that? Like,
he's usually never there when they're giving tours.
He was a lazy president. He just he's a homebody, kicking at the fucking White House, you know?
Speaking of what you were saying with the vice president, I don't think he has one, so maybe there wasn't someone there to tell him, hey, dude, you're fucking an idiot. You need to get... Not only were they at the White House, he was, like, doing fucking presidential shit while they were giving tours.
I know, and it's like, when you think the president has like 190 Secret Service agents, like...
Well, apparently he only has like 30. And the majority
of them... that guy that shoots Nightcrawler before he stabs him, like, he's a hero.
He saved the president. Dude, that's the
He fucking
equivalent.
saved the president. Like, and that guy doesn't get any kind of notoriety in the movie. Like, nothing happens. He's
Yeah, the
just
bald
like,
guy that saved the president.
Yeah, and Nightcrawler apparently gets nicked in the arm, and he's a little pussy, so he can't stab anyone now, so he has to go away.
Maybe that's why. And
Like it shot him out of it?
Yeah, that. But maybe that's why the dude doesn't get notoriety, because he had a bullshit shot. He couldn't even fucking kill the guy. I mean, he was half knocked out. He like literally.
But how can you kill the Nightcrawler?
It's a Nightcrawler. You can't. But I mean, I guess I'll give it to him. He knocked out literally after he shot him. He was like, ugh. Typical fucking 2000s movie, bullshit.
Yeah, it's, and then they cut over to the museum scene, right?
Oh, God.
Fucking Cyclops is being an overprotective boyfriend.
Listen, I wasn't really sure how to say this, but ever since Liberty Island, you've been different.
And like they set up this thing with Jean. It's like it didn't like, where is this coming from? Right? Like, she's a bitch teacher, and she goes and tells the kids, like, pay attention. It's like, to what? There's nothing, like, that he had to pay attention to.
He was
like,
looking at something in the museum. That was what they were supposed to be paying attention to, was shit in the museum. So apparently she's just, and fuck that shit, she goes and then stops paying attention.
yeah. To the kids. She has her in a Cyclops moment. Like, and Storm's talking about Neanderthals and shit, how they interbred with each other like fucking hillbillies and became mutants or some shit. And it's like,
bro, why do mutants just feel the need to be better than other people and, like, relate us?
And why be so offended, like, when people are talking about mutants, as if, like, come on, dude, like, you're literally, you have claws and can heal yourself. You don't think people are going to fucking look at you weird?
Yeah.
I'd fucking look at you weird.
Or you're blue and you have a tail and angelic symbols.
And you could just disappear and reappear. What the fuck? That's some crazy shit.
Or fill a room up with smoke.
Or people like this Jean Grey. And it's so they start talking about like Cyclops is like, what happened to you? Like, you used to not be able to lift up a dildo to put in my ass. Now you're fucking exploding rooms and like whatever the fuck he's saying. He's like, what happened to you at the island? Like
Liberty Island. It's like
I didn't get where that came from. Because at what point did they show in X-Men 1 that she was like, what did she go through that was terrible? Like, did the radiation hit her from the Magneto orgasm machine?
Maybe. When she was telling Cyclops not to shoot Magneto, she was having her Phoenix-gasm into, like...
The Phoenix-gasm?
Into Phoenix puberty. And she was sort of, like, tripping balls there. And I
don't know.
She told him not to shoot because she was so distracted with the power of his mutant power. Mutant powers. And that's what explains X3. That's why she goes with him.
Yeah.
Damn. Singer may not be as dumb as I think he is.
And at this point, Wolverine's at Alcohol Lake. Right? He's still looking if there's a bar there he can run up a tab on. He spent all of his money in his life to get there, and he's trying to sniff around because that's all Wolverine can do. He can't really like do anything smart. He just has to sniff around. If there's nothing there, around. He's like, nah, I'm out of here. There's no alcohol. I'm out.
Yeah, he doesn't even bother to look.
Yeah,
he really gives up. That's how much of a. That's why he's never had a home. He's never tried. That's his real problem. And
shouldn't you think a guy with Wolverine's healing powers and all that, and how he doesn't have to eat or like really sleep? I'm assuming. Shouldn't he be able to just make his own house from wood? Like, just chop up a tree and, like, go make some...
this fool's a lumberjack.
He wants to be homeless.
He can't stand...
And that's why we say this all the time about him. He doesn't need to be homeless. He could do stuff. He's a fucking bum. He's a bum.
Bro, and that's why every time he's in a bed, he has a bad dream. It's like... Bro, it's like Falcon said in fucking The Winter Soldier. He's like, the bed's too soft. Like, Logan can't handle being a normal person.
Yeah, that's just... And then they, like, the whole mall scene, the museum scene gets broken up by Pyro being an asshole as usual. But I sort of like the way they showed, them using their powers. Because that
better
kid's
reveals.
looking at Rogue titties, and...
and she's looking at him like, what?
Pyro's like, I'm not going to give you this lighter, man. Like, who could smoke in a museum? Like... Seriously, who fucking lights up a cigarette in a museum?
I think they live on the greasy east, so you could do that back then. I think you still can. California, not so much, because that's how you can tell they're not the West Coast Avengers, is because they can smoke inside.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that scene was cool because Xavier finally shows how he can freeze everyone and fucking do whatever he wants to them because he apparently just has the power to, like, what makes him think that that's okay to just do to people?
Yeah,
like,
he's talking about invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
What if he stopped someone, like, going down the stairs and they just fell and died because they were mid-stride going down, like, 30 flights of stairs? Like, what a dick.
Yeah, because he's, he can't roll up there unless they have the Stairmaster to have him, like, psychologically put them down, so... so that was just that, and the convenient TV shows up about the fucking Nightcrawler attack.
Once again,
another goddamn convenient TV, and once again, Xavier, Cyclops, of course, is like, it's got to be Magneto, that motherfucker, as he's on his Captain America shit, and Xavier's like, I don't know, that's my brother.
Yeah,
it's like, again, Xavier trying to not include Magneto, and still, even when he says no, he still thinks he might need to talk to Magneto. Because he thinks he's somewhat associated with it. With fucking, Magneto,
right?
The mutant crime lord and drug dealer.
My opinion, Magneto's behind this.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you intro probably the best character in the whole movie.
Well, first off, what they think it could be going is wrong. Why the X-Men feel like they need to even get involved is because Xavier and them, of course, they're trying to cover their own ass, think that this could lead to, like, a state of emergency.
True.
With the mutants.
I just can't believe that Cyclops is looking out a window and he's like, it was Magneto.
Yeah.
Like, that's his first reaction.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I guess they've been fighting him for a while, implication of it.
Oh, you know what the real implication is?
What?
Magneto sold more drugs on Scott's territory, and Scott's using this as a way to get the X-Men to kill him.
Well, he's still mad that Havoc got killed. Because his brothers are dying out in the streets.
Well, that's when he took over the business.
He had to.
That's why Magneto's dressed like a priest. He's just got dough like that.
And then the greatest intro to the greatest character ever in X-Men. Your
Right?
favorite character, my favorite character in X-Men.
It's a toss-up, but it's
Good
definitely...
old Stryker.
It depends on what Stryker, but this is definitely the best version of Stryker.
Yeah.
Like I said, just sort of a dirty Southerner.
Yeah.
He's coming out, and he's
talking to the president.
And he sounds really like, sort of like he's hitting on the president. He's like, that was closer than I thought. That mutant got very close to you, Mr. President. Like, I like to get close into that ass.
And then he talks about X-Men Academy, and it's like he's right. He's like, I want to go after it. Like, look at this bald motherfucker has a goddamn jet under his basketball courts.
He's like, that's just a school.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, then why does it have a giant dildo underground?
That they can fly out.
They can fly. Wolverine.
He
knows.
And the president, basically says, okay, you can go after them, but just detain them, ask questions, don't kill anyone, you sick motherfucker, because I sort of know you're sort of sketch anyways. Which is sort of, when you get to the spoilers later on, Stryker is a fucking genius.
Oh,
dude.
no, this is in terms of enemies in a comic book movie, this might be one of the best thought out and set up plans.
Yeah.
And
it's better than Zemo. I'll say it. It's better than Zemo.
It's better than Zemo. It's better than Ultron. It's better than Magneto's plans.
Yeah.
Because Magneto's plans are usually pretty half-cocked. This was well thought out. He put all the pieces in place. And when you really watch the movie, you might have this go over your head because, mind you, we've watched it like 3 or 4 times now.
Right.
And it wasn't until the last time that we really connected all the dots. But he sets up every scene in the movie almost single-handedly.
Yeah. The Nightcrawler was his. Him in creating the Nightcrawler attack was his so that he can make it seem like Cerebro wasn't crazy when we kill all these mutants. He set up making the plastic jail for Magneto so he can get his own interrogation with Magneto without having any interference. He set up getting Xavier there, or he set up getting Xavier to use Cerebro. Like, he's a fucking genius.
He made Wolverine. He did everything in the whole movie. It was all on him.
Yeah.
That's a great villain.
He's great. And, like, as he's walking away, as you could Kelly is Mystique. Mystique's trying to get permission to go see Eric. And Stryker's like, nah.
Yeah.
That's the Woodstock line,
Oh, that's right. He comes up, he was like, I was fighting in the forest of Vietnam when you were sucking on your mama's titty at Woodstock. He's like, and now I'd like to suck on your dick, Mr. Kelly. They just make it sound like he's hitting on everyone, even when he's mad.
Here's my question. So if he did say to suck Senator Kelly's dick, would Mystique create the Kelly dick and get sucked off by Stryker. Would that have been the craziest scene in cinema history if that actually happened?
I mean, you have to assume that every time she changes, she can't make the dick because she sees their face. So here's what I don't get. Like, so if Mystique unbuttons her shirt and, like, opens it up, does she just make a cut and paste body? Because she's not looking at these dudes' bodies or their dicks or anything like that.
Yeah.
So she just have generic white dude body, number 1, or something like that? And second. No, fuck second. Third.
Yeah, get ahead of yourself.
No, I'm going to get ahead of it because this is the Days of Future Past. I'll go back to the second.
You could go back and then retract everything you did in the first 2 statements, go to your third, and that'd be a whole new one, but be still considered the third statement you made, but retracting all the 2 that happened in the past.
Damn. That confused me as much as the goddamn movie did.
But, anywho,
so
essentially Stryker knows it's war.
Yes.
Stryker wants war. You could see it. He is after the mutants, and you could tell what he wants, and you're still interested in, like, what he's trying to do with the plot. Like, what is this guy's plan?
And nothing in this movie has had to have been, like, previously explained. That's what I like so much about this movie is you could assume, like, based on the movie, they do such a good job of not necessarily having characters explain it.
Yeah.
But set up scenes in a way whereas if you just watch this movie, you could watch X2 by itself and get the X-Men. Like,
True.
it wouldn't lose you at any part where you're like, well, what the fuck are they talking about? Maybe a couple lines where they shout out to Rogue's hair, you wouldn't really understand the aggression. But other than that, it's a really solid, complete movie. And Stryker does a lot of that for the movie.
Oh, yeah. Even his exposition speak that he has to do, he delivers it just spot on.
Yeah.
Like, you're actually interested in what he's saying, even though you know he's just explaining bullshit to help the movie move along.
Exactly.
Even when he sets up his Mortal Kombat one-on-one fights, he does it in a great way. And it's like...
The U-turn of the century was him talking to Logan before his assistant fights him.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But, so at this point, Xavier conveniently can't use Cerebro to find Nightcrawler. And
Kurt Wagner.
And he conveniently can't see him now, so he sends Jean and Storm. And at this point, Wolverine comes back from Alcohol Lake, is pissed off that he didn't get to drink, and he's fucking at the academy. And you could tell he's sort of like pissed off. And then it's just this like flurry of like bitches coming up to say hi to him. Like
he gets the Wild West like cowboy hero walking into the saloon welcome where there's just like 3 ladies.
All by bitches.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's like 3 prostitutes just walking down the stairs like, hello, Logan. And he's just like, I don't got no money, but I fucking just shot the sheriff, so ain't nobody stopping me.
And that's the greatest scene. It's like Cyclops walks in like a dick, He
doesn't even acknowledge him. He just fucking mugs him.
And Wolverine's homeless ass is like, hey, look, I only had $20 to get to Alcohol Lake, and I was going to spend 5 of those on a beer.
Yeah.
Here's the keys. You get your bike that I stole needs gas because I'm a fucking homeless man. Cyclops, greatly, looks back at him and says, fill it up, bitch. Throws it back at him and dips off.
Bro, that might damn near be his like 3rd line in the movie, too. He hasn't said much, and I don't think he really does get going on.
No, he just talks about other people's shit.
Then he cries.
So
Still a great actor.
Yeah, he's just underutilized completely.
Well, they gave the character a dumb story. They gave him and Professor X Professor X a little more, but they just removed 2 characters essentially from the movie and give him a dumb storyline.
Yeah.
That was like my one big problem with the movie is when they do finally show
Cyclops. You think
Cyclops.
it's too focused on Wolverine,
No,
Magneto, and Stryker? Is that... I mean, but see, at the same time, it benefited from the movie edging out some of those characters. Storm's edged out.
True.
And like we said, like all the Storm fucking, philosophies that she has within her character, it just comes out of nowhere. Like, it never really established, her, did she want to fuck Nightcrawler? Because I think she wanted that blue dick.
She does. And then
I think she was wondering how, like, because Nightcrawler could probably, like I said, he could probably double penetrate her.
Yeah, teleport
by
between.
himself.
So he could do all of it. He could do ass to mouth in a second. But he has to be looking at where he's going. Or he could get stuck in a fall. The walls of her vagina.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, so... And at this time, they show Magneto for the first time. This is great. I love that camera angle on this. I loved everything about
every Magneto scene. I really never had like every time. I think he sort of stole the show, in my opinion.
He was brilliant.
Yeah, and like the camera angle on his jealousy, it made it seem like he was really like going insane, right? From like not being able to do shit for his mutant brother, and then Stryker pulls out his dildo serum, and fucking the Get Her Done guy hits him with the glass dildo, fucking knocks out Magneto, and that's when we first see the whatever the fuck that thing is, the acid thing that he can control mutants, the neuron transmitter, right, or the neuron, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And another thing with Stryker, just making him like okay, so you're like, what is he doing? And then right after he poisons Magneto or whatever, then he's like, I want to know about X-Men Academy. So you're like, okay, so he's getting permission to go to X-Men Academy, and he wants to know about it. So what is he getting at here? You know, it's you are really interested in like what the fuck Stryker's going to do next.
Oh yeah, they're definitely like winding up, you know, the toy car, so to speak. They're
Yeah.
really getting you hooked in. You want to see what the outcome, if it's going to be, because like you said, you already know he's going to the school, but now he wants further information from Eric. So if you want information from Eric about the X-Men school, you're going for something.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a reason you're going to be there. Because, I mean, despite them being enemies and the school being there to protect the kids from the Magnetos, he still, it shows in the later movies, keeps in contact with Professor X at least, to a degree.
Yeah.
So, it could be that, you know, in your mind when you're watching this, it could be that he's just, you know, he's looking for a specific mutant. You don't really know. And that's what makes it sort of a cool movie. It's not really explained.
Yeah.
The other movies tend to just explain what they're about to do, and then they do it.
But they bother to give like some loose dialogue with the characters, let them have a little fun, let them build up character. Like, just like X-Men 1 was so dull, right? And this one just had so much more like pizzazz to it, you know?
Yeah.
It just had more to it, and it still kept this dark theme. And like I said, even that scene with Magneto was a little dark. And then, speaking of opening up, that's when Wolverine just walks in because he's pissed off. He's like, with fucking Xavier's shady deal they had with each other.
Yeah.
And he gives him these like vague instructions, and Wolverine's sort of like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I went to Alcohol Lake. I got no alcohol. I got no fucking anything about my past.
And Logan is the one dude where when Professor X says some like loaded shit in this movie, he's just like, bro, that's not what I was asking you. And he just gives him this look like, dude, shut the fuck up. I don't care about fucking the guy who attacked the president. I don't even watch TV.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't watch TV.
He just grunts and he's like, dude, like, I don't fucking care. I just want to know about Wolverine so I can go back in the mountains and drink.
Bro, the only time they show him like watching one of these convenient TVs is at a bar. So, considering he was driving his happy ass home, he doesn't even give a shit.
Yeah.
Plus, he's seen every president of the United States damn near.
Yeah.
Like, what does he care?
He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
He's like, as long as I'm not fighting anymore for anyone, I don't give a fuck, you know, so. And that's, you know, Xavier says a little joke about turning Wolverine into a 3-year-old girl.
Continue smoking that in here, and you'll spend the rest of your days under the belief that you're a 6-year-old girl.
Wolverine puts out a fucking cigar in his hand because he's an asshole.
Where
or
else?
is Xavier an asshole?
Xavier's an asshole because not only does he close the doors behind him and tell it to put him out, he doesn't give him an option of where to put it out.
And like you said, this whole time, Wolverine's sort of like, dude, I didn't find shit at the lake. Like, what's good with our deal? Like, am I going to get drugs or some alcohol? Because I don't get it. I haven't got anything. And then Xavier just sort of tells him, like, look, you may not want to find this out, and I don't really want to tell you, but can you babysit while I leave to go be wrong about seeing if Magneto's part of this problem?
Yeah.
It's like...
Again,
But Wolverine doesn't care, because he's probably making the most money he's ever made other than killing people for Stryker.
Well, they don't pay him to babysit. They give him free...
Well, he gets free
he gets
room
free,
and board.
He gets free Cokes, essentially, because he can't find beer in a school.
Yeah, right. It's like... He asks Iceman for a beer at the school. And Iceman sort of just looks at him like, dude, this is like a school with kids. Like, even if we had beer, why would it be in the fridge, you fucking asshole? Like,
Yeah.
And they have Iceman eating ice cream, which is funny, right?
Well, I think it's a yogurt that he turned into an ice cream. Because it looks like a yogurt container, right?
Yeah,
that would play more to his character, but maybe not. Maybe it's just...
Oh, one thing I wanted to get over before we go into that. Okay, so... sorry, I know. I just wanted to mention this. Xavier uses Cerebro, and he's like, Wolverine's like, why can't you just think harder? Right? Like, that's what he says to him. And then Xavier's like, well, I won't do that if I kill him. I'm Xavier. It's like, dude, how is that funny? You have a machine in your house that you could kill people if you think too hard.
And he wonders why people are always trying to get at him.
It's like, dude, fuck. Like, Xavier he might be the villain. He might be he is the Tony Stark of X-Men.
He's worse than Tony Stark, because at least Tony Stark's doing it for good things.
Yeah,
Professor
yeah,
X
yeah.
is just sort of selfish.
Yeah.
He wants things to go his way, and if it doesn't, he blames someone. Like, think about it. We talked about X3 when he just comes, like, Logan wouldn't have fucking woke up Phoenix when she was laying there on the table, but he comes in and realizes that having Phoenix there is a bad idea, and then just fucking blames Logan for it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's a dick move. But then, then again, he's not shown to really know much. He just comes in as reactionary.
Who, Wolverine or Xavier?
Xavier.
Yeah.
He doesn't think shit out. Shit happens, like with the Magneto thing. He's like, it must have been Magneto.
Because, again, he thinks he's too fucking smart.
Yep. And then you get to...
Then we go to so he asked Wolverine to be a babysitter, and Mystique's doing Mystique shit.
Yeah.
So she finds out about Cerebro 1 and Cerebro 2. Like,
yeah.
that was sort of whatever, but it still was cool, because the Asian lady that is shown throughout this whole movie, she's, it is whole thing.
I think he
where
calls her
she's the Asian.
Hariko.
Yeah, I don't care. So she finds this guard, she finds some info on him, so look out for that in the future. And at this time, Jean Grey and Storm are in this movie, guys, in case you forgot.
They come back.
They find the greatest character in X-Men,
Kurt
at a
Wagner.
church.
Yeah, Kurt Wagner, but in the Munich circus. They call me the Incredible Nightcrawler. Or amazing. He says something just where he
Here's
jerks
my thing
himself
about that
off.
scene, right? So it's a cool little scene, right? And he's like, so much shooting, so much fear. It's like...
So many Archangel Gabriel references.
He's like, is he testing me? It's like, he's funny, but like, the professor.
That's right. They're talking, it's like, we're going to have to get you back to the professor. And this fool looks at him, he's like, it's the professor? Like, he knew what they were talking about, but in reality, he just heard someone smart was around. And he's like,
Yeah.
maybe he can help me with my problem.
So they find like the popped large pimple on his neck or whatever that looked like.
Yeah. Weird how it's a different color now.
And we're assuming that it's the same poison that Magneto got. So now the plot's moving.
Oh, hold on, though. In the most convenient sulking ever.
Yeah.
This fool, he doesn't even, like, say that something's bothering his neck. They're just talking about the holy symbols passed down by the Archangel Gabriel. Like, he just says that and then turns around, because they're asking if he did it all himself. He's like, yes, even on my penis. And he, like, turns around without saying that his neck hurts or anything, and they're like, hey, what's this circle?
Yeah.
That's it. That's how they explain what Stryker's sort of doing. That, to me, again, there's a couple parts where it's not the best.
Looks
but,
like a pop cis.
Yeah.
So, and at this point, Wolverine's having this flashback nightmare with this shitty sleep acting. But the flashback nightmare, and that's the thing with these X-Men movies, is what's up with this sleep acting?
Stop
like,
making people act in their sleep.
Just have them, like,
Just show the dream and then have them wake up from the dream.
Yeah. It's like, we don't need to see that.
We don't need to,
Wolverine,
Yeah, he's just rolling around in fucking bed.
Yeah, you should have bad dreams. You've killed millions of people. You're an alcoholic, homeless sack of shit. Yeah, you should be having nightmares. And he has a fucking nightmare. And like I said, he's a fucking scumbag. He tries to get a beer from the fridge. And Iceman's like, dude, you're a scumbag. And
and he's like, you got any beer? Because, hey, bub, you with the hair, sitting there, bub. You got any beer in this fucking
Iceman looks
school?
more and more like a fucking, like he's saying butterfly. Yeah.
No,
You're my butterfly.
right? He has become the epitome of, like, of just, if this were fucking a real boy band, which it sort of is, because they all have that haircut, he is the most boy band character of them all.
Definitely. Definitely.
He just has that hair. He has that fucking edge. Like, oh my god, they sort of make you be on the edge of whether you like or hate Iceman. When he shakes Logan's hand, he's like, I'm Bobby. The name is Iceman.
Yeah.
He freezes his hand. You're like, dude, I would slap the shit out of him if I were Logan.
And Wolverine asked him and Rogue, like, so how do you guys fuck?
Yeah, straight up, because that's what Wolverine's curious in, is dirty old man fucking shit.
I mean, it's not what you think I'd like it to be.
He's like, how do you guys... He's like, if that's... And then Bobby's answer... And all of this is just two guys talking in front of a lady, and it's the most inappropriate shit. He's like, Bobby's like, well, it's not yet, but we want it to. We want to fuck, but we're not yet.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. He basically says, he's like, okay, when I can figure out how to turn my penis into ice and be pleasurable for her, we'll get it. And you should be there, Wolverine, when we figure it out.
So you know how when they first kiss eventually, right? And
she has the ice breath.
she has the breath.
Yeah.
If he fucks her with the ice dick, will she queef out an ice breath? Is that what's gonna happen?
She could jerk him off with her road gloves. Like, why isn't she jerking him off? She should be at least jerking him off.
Yeah, right.
You know.
I don't. Maybe like.
And if I was Iceman, I'd turn back into Iceman. Because, like, I don't know. Well, he could still splooge on her.
Well, she could suck him off with the condom on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things that could happen here.
Yeah.
That she's not willing to do because she's some Midwestern.
She's not getting pleased. That's why.
She's from the fucking like Mississippi, right?
So at this point, also, this is when Xavier stupidly goes to talk to Magneto, and Cyclops is in his better goggles and his dope boy pea coat. Like, that
Oh
fool
my
is
God.
fitted. Like,
Yeah.
you know he's got some fucking sacks in it somewhere in his fucking pea coat over there. He thought he was going to come through and make some money selling drugs. He didn't know that all this shit was about to go down. He sort of, like, is thrown off by everything.
You know, and when he knew something was gonna go down, you could see this. He's like, ah, damn, gotta make the glizzy speak. He's just down. Fucking
Yeah, he's got a couple nines in his pocket, a QP of fucking trees.
some sweet perp.
And,
That's why when they walk in, they're all looking at him like, damn, son, you stink. Like, what the fuck?
And Xavier goes to see Magneto in his glass wheelchair, which is the shit. And
yeah, the glass wheelchair.
as if Magneto was like that. I kind of want to see that scene. If Xavier trusted Magneto enough, because he stupidly would, if we're talking about Xavier's character, to roll in with a metal wheelchair and Magneto actually use it against people and just throw Xavier out the wheelchair.
Just into the fucking bottomless pit they're hanging him over.
So basically, they have this exchange, which, I mean, this scene was really tense. Like, it really sort of, to me, like, took the first act, like, to a whole other level, right? It
was a good...
Because he starts talking about, like, you know, about Stryker's past with his son. And
Yeah,
he's
that's
like,
right.
You're trying to put Wolverine on your stupid X-Men team so that you can, fill the void of that guilt that you have for fucking up Stryker's son. And
Which, oh my God, does he not actually sort of refer to Logan as being homeless? It's like, well, you took him in from the fucking streets to make you feel better about this psychopath.
Yeah. And then he's like, you should have killed me when you had the chance, Charles.
And that's
And
great.
he just,
'cause
like, looks up. He's like, this is war, Charles.
Yeah.
It's like, and
What's great is he feels remorse.
Yeah.
He feels
he feels bad because
Yeah.
I mean, he basically snitched, and he's like, yo, I got the no snitch rule, but, like, these fools did some fucking voodoo magic trick to me, and I had to tell them shit, so.
And he's down to just die for it. He's like, you should have killed me, bro.
Yeah. And it's like.
That's some real, like, drug. That's why he rolls around as a he's a real drug dealer.
Yeah.
He is the Spaniard.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he is just that guy. Like, every time in a movie, they're like, the Spaniard. It's fucking Magneto.
Yeah.
Like, that's who that is.
And a cool thing, finally, even though he gets his ass kicked, eventually, Cyclops fucking fights.
Oh,
it looks
dude.
cool.
He fucking
In his
mops
D-boy
him.
peep coat, like,
Yeah.
still kept it on, too. Like, and the way he fought was, like, dope. Like, it was like a Terminator,
Yeah, it was
this
like
robotic,
some.
like,
Yeah. It was like some mixed martial arts shit.
Yeah, it was great.
It was the first time someone didn't do a flip in X-Men to hit somebody.
Yeah, so you're really feeling tense about what's going on. You're like, fuck, dude, these mutants are in trouble. And then while Wolverine's talking about being homeless and Iceman's like, yo, how do you fuck girls like that can't have their vagina on your penis? And Wolverine's like, oh, he's like, I just rape them.
Bub.
And fucking Iceman's like, well, I seen you with Jean Grey. Like, are you about to tap that yet? He's like, maybe in her sleep one day.
And right, look how Logan too is like, he doesn't
He's like,
even
what?
get it.
Yeah.
And then, so that's what's weird about that relationship is this fool doesn't love Jean Grey until Iceman tells him he does.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why Iceman's a Class 5 mutant?
I don't know.
Eventually, like, he can just tell people what their storyline's gonna be, even if it's loaded.
And then all this shit starts going down. The helicopter starts showing up, and it's it's Stryker and his group. It's fucking the greatest Wolverine scene, I think, even like with the Wolverine movies. He says "bub" for the first time. It just kills everyone.
You came to the wrong place, bub.
Kills everyone. Kills
Dude.
in front of the kids.
When they're running, when it's who is that? Pyro and
Rogue
Iceman and
Iceman,
Rogue are
yeah.
running, and there's 4 soldiers standing there. This fool jumps off, stabs.
Why
two of
doesn't
them.
Iceman just freeze the whole floor and all the motherfuckers slip?
Well, they're not necessarily warriors yet. You know
Well,
what
I
mean?
know,
They're just
but
students.
it's like
They're being-
Iceman's a bitch. Like, let's get real about that. He's a bitch in these movies.
And he could be the sickest dude.
He could be raw.
Maybe that's why they have to make him a bitch.
Yeah.
Because he could literally fix most problems. He could kill
True.
Magneto.
True.
Magneto can't stop ice.
Yeah.
Like,
He could freeze all the metal, not
Yeah.
make it usable.
well, yeah.
Well, I mean,
It'd be usable. It'd
yeah.
just be
Well, he
cold.
can freeze it enough to where it, like, will break if it hits something.
True.
But
Then
whatever,
he just has a bunch of bullets.
And that's another thing. Well, at this point, like, they show this, like, finally, some cool little scenes with the other X-Men, like Kitty falling through the bed. Fucking the even though it was annoying, it affected me. The girl screaming, Colossus turning into Colossus, even though it looks shitty.
I like how he turns into Colossus walking into the, like, as he walks in. He knows he's about to fuck some people up, and he's so confident he just walks in his boxers and starts becoming Colossus.
Yeah, right. Like, he didn't, like, turn in metal. He was like, yeah, well, fuck it, you know.
He's like, I'll become... And why does this Colossus, does it come from his stomach?
I don't know. Maybe he could just do it on cue, whatever he wants.
Can he turn
He could probably
certain
start from
parts?
his balls, his
Maybe
ball
that's-
hair. Is his ball hair steel, or does Cyclops or Colossus just shave all
Is
the
his
time?
hair steel?
His head hair is. So he's got steel pubes.
Yeah.
Can he still, like...
They're springs, essentially. He has little spring pubes.
Yeah, so... And then that scene happens, and what I really like about the scene is they're all about to get away. And then Stryker comes through with his southern charm. You know, and,
Wolverine.
and Wolverine sees him, and Wolverine's, you know, obviously enamored. He's like, oh shit, like, who is that guy? He starts having flashbacks again. And, like, Iceman does this ice wall thing, like, as they're escaping the thing. It looks great. Like, it's not, like, CGI bullshit. It looks good.
Yeah.
Like, and, you know...
They just do that weird, like, E.T., let's touch each other's hands. Him and, for whatever reason, Logan feels compelled, like, when Stryker's putting his hand on the ice, to put his hand over his. Like, they were once, like, father and son or something.
Oh my God, William, this is your son.
Yeah. It's weird. So, but like either way, he's sort of interested in his past, and then like, in his Canadian genes still. But he's like, Wolverine looks at the kids and he's like, "Go, I'll be fine." And they're like, "We won't." And he chooses the X to help them as opposed to figuring out about his past. The first non-selfish non-homeless thing he's done.
Well, essentially, he is homeless again because now they don't have a home.
Well, they escape in
Cyclops'
they
car.
escape in Cyclops' car, and apparently their only weakness is, you know, in sync. And
Is that in sync?
yeah,
Actually,
I think it was
whatever.
in sync. And they
Cyclops-
pop out this cell phone, and Wolverine's looking at it like, what the hell? Because he's homeless, so he's never had a cell phone,
Bro,
right?
what is-
He's never had a beeper. I don't even think he knows I don't think he understands technology.
That's why he
yet.
couldn't figure out the radio. Like,
So he's
he
never
can't
had
even, he can't even turn on a goddamn car. He has to stick his claw into the ignition.
Yeah, that's
It's like,
how
fuck
he-
looking for keys.
How is your claw even going to do that? Like, let's get real about that.
I don't know. It'd probably break the fucking ignition as big as
And
his
then,
claws are.
and the easiest thing ever to break into, Stryker gets into Cerebro at this time.
Well, he has some magical fucking eye laser that makes people's eyes.
And at this point, the movie is moving
Well, actually,
along.
I guess it's not that convenient. He has Professor X. He could have just scanned his eye.
I was saying, why couldn't he just use Cerebro? He cleared out the Academy. Why couldn't he just use...
Because he has to
Xavier?
build the one that specifically targets mutants.
He couldn't have done that from Cerebro 1?
Because it targets both. Cerebroan's built to view everybody.
Well, whatever. Well, then how did Magneto know how to just switch it up?
Because remember they said Magneto helped build it.
He would know that?
He's...
I don't know. Whatever.
He,
So, and also at this point, Mystique tricks the Get Her Done guy and injects him with metal.
oh my god,
And-
that's great. That's a great scene too. He's
Yeah,
like,
like-
this never happens to me. And she's like, I know.
you fucking piece of shit.
It's like, it's so dirty in here. He's like, that's how I like it.
And this is like that scene, that like breaking scene of the movie when Stryker has this conversation with Xavier and tells him about everything.
My god, William, that's your son.
And he, you know, it's a good little back and forth, and it's explaining why Stryker feels the way he does, especially towards Xavier, basically saying like, look, dude, I sent my son to your fucking academy, and I don't know what they imply that Xavier says Stryker wanted him basically to be human. I don't know what that was implied there, but Xavier says, you know,
Well, he wanted
felt
him to
like
be better,
Yeah.
cured.
And can we explain Jason's power? It's to create illusions.
You implant illusions into
Okay.
people's minds.
So
So I don't think that he's psychic in the sense that he can control other people. It's more of like how, like, I think Professor X is like the pinnacle of being psychic.
Yeah.
He can freeze people, he can go into their minds, he can put out illusions. But I think this guy is just very strong illusions that make Stryker's wife like go crazy, and that's why Stryker's so bitter about this.
And this is a fucked up like conversation. He's like, dude, look, you made my son hate us, and he essentially drove my wife crazy, or with his powers made her kill herself. She put a drill to her temple.
And the way he delivers it is almost like he's told the story like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
He's like, well, one day my wife had enough. She went home, she put a power drill to her temple to get the visions out. But he didn't even deliver it like that. He's like, to get the visions out.
Great exposition delivery. Great. And he reveals his plan. And Xavier's like, it was you that did the White House. And then Stryker turns around and he's like, you did that without even reading my mind.
Right?
It's like, damn.
And he has a neural inhibitor.
Yeah, so that was great. And it's like, and then Xavier sees what he did to his son. It's like, he fucks his son up.
Well, he's a science experiment. He's essentially
a science
like,
experiment.
you assume he has a giant scar on his head.
Stryker says, you know, he's like, no, my son is dead.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, you see what, like, it's not this super, like, over-the-top acting where we could see his pain. It's just, it's low-key.
Yeah.
It's Stryker being low-key. And
his son, you can tell he's not all there. Like, the son is essentially his tool.
Yeah.
He doesn't have, they imply he doesn't have a mind of his own, but when they start doing the visions, they show that there is still something of that dude there.
Yeah.
So I thought Jason's pretty cool character, actually. Like, maybe not as a speaking character or just but as a plot device, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's what they use him for.
I completely agree. And then they go to Iceman's house, Wolverine and the kids. Wolverine is still confused by the phone because he's homeless. He's trying to work it out. And he goes and gets a fucking beer from his fridge. Again, Wolverine getting a beer from another guy's fridge because he's homeless.
Yeah.
And a fucking scumbag.
And this is when Iceman tries to dick down.
Yeah. And it's like, how weird was that scene? These are, like I said, these are teenagers, and they're just like showing her, like, why would she just change in front of him like that?
Why do
like,
they focus so much on fucking teenagers fucking?
I don't know.
This is a weird...
Makes you question upstairs what they're thinking. Like,
what was going on? There's a lot of weird, rapey, underage shit going on
I'm not cool by it.
And it's sort of trailing over from the first movie. Not as bad in this movie because the entire plot of the first movie is based on finding this underage girl for some weird, evil old guy's plan.
Yeah.
Which involves having orgasms. But this movie, it's a little less. It's just weird that they keep going back to this in Rogue and Iceman's relationship.
Because no one cares. I don't care.
She took her shirt off in front of him.
Yeah.
And he's like, turns around, he's like, I can make those.
He couldn't help it.
Yeah,
he got his ice boner.
Because he's literally like, I could just blow on those nipples and make them hard as rocks.
That's what I'm saying. Like, can he fuck her with a condom? At least. Does he have to, like, Iceman his crotch and fuck her with a condom?
Well, no, because he could if he had, like, a fucking 2-foot long dick, and you're guaranteed his legs wouldn't touch hers.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, skin's going to touch skin.
And another thing, too, is they show his parents show up, and Logan, of course, can't talk to, like, normal humans because he's a homeless man. He's normally used to ask for change and shit. Or killing people.
He's about to kill a cat.
And like, yeah. And, like, they go into, like, she's like, you know, the gay rights hint. She's like, have you ever tried not being a mutant? And it's like, here's my thing about that. It's like, especially Iceman. Okay, I get Mystique. I get Nightcrawler. I get all that. What is so wrong about Iceman? What in his power, unless he's orgasming ice all over the place, what is so bad about his character that he can't fit in with normal fucking world? He just has to not use his powers. Like,
yeah, think about it.
Oh my god, he could freeze my coffee. Like, you fucking asshole. Like, it's like, fuck, like, what the fuck? To me, yeah. And then they're all like, all the mutants are offended when the parents are trying to have this, like, personal conversation
what
with
right
their son.
do they have to even be there in a supposed...
He is special.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, fuck you guys.
He's breaking down his life to his parents. He's having this really, like, honest opinion, like, conversation with his parents. And, of course, his parents are going to be a little shocked and maybe confused. But I honestly think having those people there sort of pissed his brother off even more. And what right did they have? Like, dude, if you were talking to your kid and one of his shitty fucking teenage friends said that shit to you, you'd be like, okay, first of all, you don't know shit. Get the fuck out of my house, you piece of shit.
Exactly. It's like, especially Logan.
Logan...
Does he have the beer yet?
Yeah, he drank the beer already. He's probably on his second. When they weren't looking, he went and got another.
And
like,
so
they'll never
at this
notice.
point, too, is one of my favorite scenes also. Magneto pulling out. This is like sort of the first time he actually manipulates metal to me. He pulls it out of the guard and has this cool scene where he has to have his fucking dickhead eccentric fucking forearm over forearm pose.
Well, he's like, something's different about it. You have more iron in your diet. Like, the way he talks is great in this movie.
Yeah, it's so great. And he has that scene where he just fucks everyone up with, like, 3 little ass pieces of metal.
Yeah.
And he actually manipulates them into, like, solid iron metal.
And speaking of his floating, dude, and him being a frail old man, I was like, how does he have the balance to stand like that on a disc, folding his arms, being 70 fucking years old?
I don't know.
Like, come on.
We don't
dude.
even know. He should be like 100.
Well, he survived. He was like 15 or something during the Holocaust, right? So
He should be like 85 years old.
he should be getting damn near close to 90. This
So-
was
It was
2000.
2003. So
he's still
He's like
fucking-
80. He's almost 80.
Yeah, well, when my grandparents were that old, they were not
Yeah.
going around fucking killing people.
Yeah, that's true. And like I said, and my one problem with the movie, which is why I couldn't get a 9, is like Storm, Jean, and Nightcrawler again are showed after like 40 minutes ago from the movie.
And it's them flying.
It's like this Nightcrawler Storm exchange, which they're trying to make you believe that she sort of wants to suck his cock, and he's just like talking about his Nightcrawler shit. Like
He's like, with someone as beautiful as you, why would you ever want to hide it? Or some stupid shit like that. And
and
she's,
like pissed off somehow out of nowhere.
She's
like,
mad.
We don't know how pissed off Storm is. Storm's like, oh my god, I hate the humans. They made me this.
Yeah.
Like, I can actually. And okay, here's my thing about Storm. She's an asshole
yeah.
because she could go. She could literally be the greatest mutant or hero ever because she could just go around fixing the weather all over the world.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the span of her power, like how far it reaches, but like she should be around the world creating good weather. A typhoon pops off in the Philippines, she needs to be out there fucking preventing the typhoon.
Well, what I don't get about Storm is so most other aspects, I suppose, of the X-Men are believable. You know, how their body could do that. And what part of your brain is connected to the fucking weather? Like, how does our power even fucking work? I get it. Your body can handle more energy, so your cells can trap energy. That makes sense. You're psychic, so your brain's working on fucking overtime. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But what fucking part does her like do her fucking enhanced mutant nipples act as like fucking lightning rods and they just shoot fucking
They're Doppler
lightning?
radars.
Those are her Doppler radars.
And you know, at this point, Wolverine gets a call from them, and of course it rings like a few times because he can't recognize the ring because he's never had a cell phone and he's homeless. So
Yeah, he looks at it confused, like,
he's
the fuck?
What? Could this be ringing? And you know, the Iceman's mom's talking about gay rights, and you know, Wolverine tells them to come through to Bobby's house, and that's at the time when the brother snitches like a little bitch,
yeah.
and the cops show up, and it's like Pyro has this good scene, right? Like Wolverine gets clapped in the head.
There it is. Too much iron in your blood.
Right?
Yeah,
Gets
he
shot
just
by
gets
the police
shot
officer.
and
And
down.
Pyro's like, you see those mutants on the news? I'm the worst one. I can manipulate fire. I actually can't create anything like everyone else does, but like I'm the worst one somehow. And he like fucks up all the cops. That was a good scene. And they finally show Rogue using her powers legitimately this time, like touching Pyro and getting rid of the fire. Like that shit was fucking sick. Like I really
It's the
liked
one
it.
time they show her actually use her power in a combat situation,
Yeah.
other than a simulation in the third one.
Yeah.
And it's the one time she's useful as a person in her life.
Well, I mean, she's pretty much a bitch through the whole movie. She's a whiny whore.
Well, and she
wants to be a
continues-
whore, but she can't be.
Yeah, and she continues to be like, I don't know where her character is coming from really.
Yeah.
Because she's on the fence of being all right and like sort of useful, and then on the other side, like later on in the movie, she fucks their plane up.
Yeah.
She fucks
right?
the plane up. Like a.
We'll talk
she
about
can't-
that. We'll talk about that.
There's a lot of things she can't do, and then there's this scene which sort of makes up for all of that.
Yeah, and and then they get picked up by Storm, and then, which isn't convenient. It was shown. Another thing I like about this movie, they cover their ass everywhere, almost. Like, there isn't, except for some things that are coming up. But, so they go into the jet, and Nightcrawler's sitting like a fucking kid on, like, he looks like he's about to shit on the seat.
He's a
and then what does he do? He introduces
he's
himself.
He's like, hello, I'm Kurt Wagner. In the Munich circus, I was known as the dick-sucking Nightcrawler, because I would transfer over to every man's dick and suck it. That's how you would view the circus.
And Wolverine's sort of like, okay, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
Wolverine just looks at him, he's like, who's this bub?
And, at this time, this whole scene is great.
Where Xavier...
Jason, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, Jason makes Xavier think he can walk.
And I think that's where Jason fucks up at first, because I think Xavier has a powerful enough mind that when you gave him this unreasonable situation, he was like, Jason, stop. Like, fucking, I know I can't walk anymore. And
Yeah,
then
right.
he switches it up and becomes a little kid at the mansion. Professor X can roll around, and somehow... That's what I didn't get. So I guess that was my explanation, was Jason fucked up. But they don't really show why the second time around Professor X is just down. Like,
True.
He's just, okay.
But I sort of just accepted it.
Yeah.
So, and at this point, like I said, so far the X-Men don't care about cops because they can destroy the cars and it's cool. And then, after all that shit happens, their jet is getting chased by military planes, which apparently the jet isn't that fast after all, because they could be caught up by fucking military planes.
Right? The planes
and they don't give a
coming
fuck
up.
about the military. They don't give a fuck about cops. They don't give a fuck about the president. They don't give a fuck about the military. They don't give a fuck about the environment.
Everything they do is fuck.
Like, they literally almost, like, if those guys weren't smart enough, the military jets, to parachute out, they were going to kill those guys. And Storm finally uses her power, like, in a cool way. She creates tornadoes out the
power,
sky.
her power, and honestly, to me, it was meant for a big set piece.
Yeah.
And so her being in the church and shooting the lightning, or like her shooting the lightning at Toad in the previous movie, it was all right, but it didn't justify like how cool she could have been.
Yeah.
Which you sort of see that, and it's like every time she shows up, why is it she gotta fucking clear out fog or make snow?
Yeah.
Like, make her do something fucking cool.
And Jean does shit cool, too. She, like, stops the missile when she, like, hints at the Phoenix, which is what Bryan Singer's wanted this whole time.
Well, she stops one missile.
Yeah,
She can't stop both, and for whatever reason, Storm can't stay in her power.
Well, and this whole time, Rogue sucks, because she can't even put on a fucking seatbelt. She can't put on the seatbelt, and then, like, after a while, she's like, okay, like an asshole, like how people do in the car. She's just holding the seatbelt together.
Yeah.
Like an idiot. Like, she's like, oh, I can't do it. So she just, like, holds her seatbelt.
Like,
and,
we
like,
didn't use seatbelts in Mississippi.
and so the missile hits them, and of course she immediately flies out of the jet.
But that's a cool scene where Nightcrawler goes and gets her. And that's what I didn't get. They have...
And Nightcrawler gets a little rogue action on his wiener, you know? She's leaning on his wiener a little bit. Nightcrawler's getting a little
sorry.
excited. He's like,
now I have to go make another tattoo. And what's crazy about that, too, is Nightcrawler, and this is what sort of pissed me off. He was one, like you said, when they were focusing too much of the movie on certain characters, Nightcrawler comes in with 2 great action scenes, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Like, why not have him fight again? That was so weird to me.
Yeah. I completely agree. Like, he didn't do anything.
No.
He was just part of the mission. He didn't have any part of the combat. And so, while their jet gets hit and it's going down, the most convenient thing of the movie to me is either their jet was conveniently falling where Magneto was, or I don't know, Magneto just shows up and saves them, which was, it was just stupid. And then
they caught Magneto and Mystique being bums.
Yeah,
because they don't actually have homes either.
Again, another probably the 10th Ian McKellen movie where he's in a forest.
Yeah, that's what, every time they show Magneto, because dude, Magneto's just a better dressed Wolverine.
Yeah,
they still live in a forest.
Yeah,
he just has a tent.
And speaking of Wolverine and Magneto. Fucking Magneto has a fucking campfire kumbaya exposition speech about fucking Stryker and what he plans to do with Xavier.
That
and all
was
this
cool
shit.
though, because he puts Charles on blast.
He puts Charles on blast. Then he basically calls out Wolverine
for
because,
being an
like we
idiot.
said, Magneto doesn't give a fuck about Wolverine.
Yeah,
like
he calls him an idiot.
Because here's the thing: Magneto knows in the rock paper scissors mutant game, which is what all mutants are. Magneto owns Wolverine, owns him. So to Magneto, Wolverine's like, dude, you're whack.
Yeah.
Like, you are a homeless idiot, and I fucking am smarter than you, and I can rip you in half. And he basically tells him, he's like, look, sacred is that Xavier's been keeping from you, Stryker fucking used you as a weapon. That's why you got the Animanium, bitch.
Yeah.
There you go. And you fucking, if you want to think about it, go cry over there like a bitch, and Mystique will suck your cock. Because you know why? I'm a pimp. She's my main bitch. I know you ain't got no money for her, but I need your ass tomorrow to go kill some motherfucker.
Not just that. That's not the only time he gets insulted by one of those people.
Well,
because Jean Grey looks at remember when Jean Grey reads Nightcrawler's mind?
Yeah.
She's like, it's at Alkali Lake, and he's like, there's nothing there. She's like, it's underground, you fucking idiot. Like, what are you, stupid?
Well, that's what Magneto says to him. He's like, Xavier thought you'd be smart enough to figure it out on your own. I think you're a fucking idiot.
He does.
So there you go, you
He's
bitch.
like, well, he's like, not to my
that shit was
surprise,
great.
you fucking couldn't find it.
And at this point, like, the movie's so well focused, and it's just moving along perfectly. Like, just, the pacing is perfect in this movie. It is perfect. Other than Jean Grey Nightcrawler shit, it is perfect. And
So that's like the one convenience too, because they tell you how they find out where the Alkali Lake base is. They tell you how.
Well, right after Wolverine tries to fuck Jean and has this whole like.
Yeah, well, for whatever reason, he comes up to Jean and he's like, "Hey, do you want to cheat on your dude?" Because
Well, like
I'm
I know,
here.
like he's been gone for a few days, so like maybe I could fill his void. You know, it's
I
like,
know the whole point of our mission right now is to save your boyfriend, but can you like fuck me real quick? Because I've been waiting for 350 years for a woman to find me truly attractive.
And then like Mystique's watching this whole thing stalking wise, and she's like, I'm about to go get some Wolverine dick now. And
She's like,
Nightcrawler's like, do you want to be like them or like what?
Yeah, he's like, you can copy them, even your voice.
And he's like, even their voice.
Yeah, and then he's like, why, if you can change yourself, wouldn't you want to look like them?
And he gives this like weird like Pee Wee Herman look at her. Like,
Yeah, he's like,
And of course, all Iceman can do in this is pitch tents because he can't pitch a tent in Rogue, but he can. He's pitching tents all over
his
the place.
whole point in the movie is pitching a tent.
And Mystique wants that Wolverine dick. She pulls like she's okay. So she transforms into Jean Grey and tries to fuck him, and like Wolverine's so fucking his dick so hard that he can't sniff out Mystique. Granted, right?
Yeah.
Then Mystique starts switching to people. She switches to Storm, who I think he should be having sex with. Like I think Storm's been down for the Wolverine dick, and
Yeah.
Storm is arguably sexier to me. But
Well, it's weird because Storm, even though she gave him the pimp's welcome, like at the spot, it was more friendly. She was just like, "Hey, Logan, I'm fucking Storm. I need to be relevant right now." And so, but you know, Jean Grey comes down like, or maybe that's just Logan's perspective when she's walking down the stairs. She's going slow.
yeah,
He's
she's
like,
sort
"Oh."
of, yeah.
And then she really gets there and she's like, "Dude, why are you fucking looking?"
Well,
at
my
me?"
thing is like, when Mystique tries to fuck him, why does she switch from Jean Grey to Rogue?
Because
And like Wolverine's like, wait, I sort of want that because I'm a fucking
Mystique might
pervert.
know it.
And then she switches to Stryker, and Wolverine's like, huh? Like,
Yeah.
he gives that look like, wait, I sort of like.
That's when
this
he
shit
d-
got weird. That was
That's-
a weird fucking scene. That scene definitely threw off the movie a little bit.
That's when he does the Tim Allen.
Yeah. And so they leave, and
Maybe you want me.
Mystique, Magneto has this little scene with Pyro, which we all know what's going to happen to Pyro. We know this.
Dude, that was the corniest shit.
And
bro.
he looks so bad. Like I said, he looks like Stan from fucking Eminem. He looks like the guy trying to fucking.
Well, what pisses me off about that scene too, it's just so stupid. He's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "What's your," or like John or something. Like, "What's your real name?" Pyro.
I guess, bro. Like, it's up with this nickname shit.
But he looks like the mutant that'd be like he'd be like sauntering around. And he's like, and they call me Pyro. And every time he says it, he pops flames out of his hands. Like he's that kind of mutant who's just down for his name.
Yeah.
Like, and they show that in some of the other movies where it's like, I'm Mystique.
Right?
Fucking, you know, like, that's who I'm Magneto
And,
now.
well, I loved about that part the most is the Magneto fucking adjusts his robe to fold his arms because he has to, like, have that, like, righteous, like, stance that he always has when he's sitting down in the jet.
Yeah, right? He just, after he says
he has to adjust his Spanish priest robe.
Yeah,
like,
he has to put his half cape back over the one arm he decided to sling it on.
and they're, like, hating on Rogue, too. Like, he's like, we love you doing your hair, you fucking bitch. I was going to kill you.
If I were Rogue, I'd look at him and be like, enjoy your last 10 years, motherfucker. I don't care what you do.
Yeah, and that was whatever, but and so they show, like, Storm explains their base topographically somehow, and like
Yeah, somehow they have a map of Alkali Lake.
and Wolverine's like, I'll go in, and like Magneto says this joke again, putting him down in front of everybody because Magneto's like, you homeless fuck, shut the fuck up, and like he's like, you know, what are you gonna do? I need somebody to have control of the control panel. He's like, what are you gonna do? Scratch it with your claws.
And then he's basically like, I got this, dude. All of you are fucking idiots that got us in this mess to begin with. And he looks at, and what's funny is like, they look at him, he's like, you're not gonna do anything shady, right? And he looks at Mystique like, yeah, of course we are, dumb fucks. Like, you decided to team up with the villain of the series. Like, so that's on you.
He should have said that.
Yeah.
And at this point, they're like, Stryker's like, I'm a scientist.
Like,
I keep all this.
He decides he's just gonna kill these kids. And the dude's like, "Whoa, why do we need the kids if you got the professor?" He's like,
I'm a scientist.
Yeah, that's when he says that, and he's basically like, "I don't build a machine unless I know it can work." And the machine he's actually talking about is like the jackhammer dildo machine for when he's on all fours, like you see in like pornos, but it's powered by fucking Xavier's mind.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to use batteries anymore.
Yeah. So at this point, Mystique, she's Wolverine, and she gets into the base, and Stryker like realizes it right away. Stryker's like, I know my subjects, you know, and that's not
dude, that scene was cool. She
Yeah.
just blocks every
Fucks
bullet with
everyone
other
up.
people.
Yeah, with other people.
And then slides out flipping them off,
Yeah.
goes to the control panel, like fucks. He's like, I even like the
As
dude's
Stryker.
reaction. She goes to Stryker, she's like, watch out, there's a mutant and it can be anybody. And he's like, anybody? And then she takes one dude's gun, flips it up, hits him in the head with it, then grabs it and like baseball bats the other dude's
And
head.
Stryker's even a good actor as him being from Mystique.
Being him, giving the little kiss in the wave.
he's great.
Like, he looked like he sort of had that, like, and the dude who was Kelly did the same thing where he did the feminine walk to show that it was Mystique.
And what does Stryker's smartass do? He immediately goes to his plan of killing all the mutants and runs to fucking Jason, who's getting Xavier right now to go into the Cerebro 2. And Stryker gets all of them to go over there. And he's like, fuck, I'm getting this plan through now. It's over, right? And so and of course, what does Logan do? They all get to the control panel. They're all trying to figure shit out. Magneto's trying to get his evil plan through, whatever he's trying to do. He's like, we'll go alone. And they're like, nah, you're not. And Jean Grey goes with him or whatever. And Wolverine, what does he do?
He just dips.
Dips off.
Yeah,
he's like,
and
Stryker's on the screen.
That's when he finds his birthplace, so to speak. And he's walking around like, what's this tub?
Yeah,
what's this liquid jizz metal?
And of course, they have to have the adamantium cooking.
Just
right?
boiling.
It
Well, it
sets
has
up
to boil.
It literally sets. I literally thought I was watching Mortal Kombat. Like, I thought it was Liu Kang versus Sub-Zero. Wolverine walking down the stairs. And then the greatest scene ever of the movie is the Stryker coming down the stairs with this Asian lady accomplice.
Stryker's U-turn of the century. Because he comes down, he's talking to Logan, he's like, funny thing about adamantium is you can only, once you get it in its raw liquid form, you cannot let it harden or so it will never melt again.
It's got to stay hot.
And he's saying this as he's walking down the stairs. He goes down the stairs, walks a little bit, then starts going up another set of stairs to fucking leave. Mid-speech. He's like...
turning around.
Yeah, turning around, walking.
He curtsies around.
Yeah. And he's like, I thought you were one of a kind. Turns out I was wrong. And then he dips. He doesn't give a fuck about fighting them. He knows the dam's about to break. Because he's just like, well, at this point...
because he looks at the pressure valves and he's like, no!
No!
Yeah, he gets pissed off.
And
yeah.
I like how he tells the dudes, he's like... and it's funny because they show that he has a bunch of other people that they're fighting, but he just takes the people he has, and he's like, all right, you guys come with me, stand in front of the door, shoot it if it's me, because he gets Mystique's power.
Yeah.
But that doesn't fucking stop the person who actually fucking gets to Cerebro first. And that was what was so cool about Stryker.
Well, at that point, like with that, the Mortal Kombat fight, I think Shao Tsung stole the Asian lady's soul from the adamantium. And that fight had to be set up that way, right? Like, it was a really fun fight, but they're both immortals, so like they had to have that shit cooking because he fucking stabs her with the tattoo ink adamantium.
Yeah, and even he knows it's fucked up. He gives
like,
the look like,
God.
oh my fuck. That's not the first time he's given a look where he knows something's fucked up when the plane was about to crash. He looks at Jean Grey and just has this look where he's like, I know you guys are about to die.
Yeah.
I'm not about to die. I've been through this before. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, he just has this 30 seconds of regret for their lives, and then he gives up because he's like, guess it's back to being homeless.
Yeah.
That was just his plan.
And at this time, you know, this is when Xavier is going to kill all the mutants. Jason tells him to kill all the mutants, and it's like, you think about this, and it's like, if Xavier wasn't existing in this movie, right? Like, if he didn't exist, this wouldn't even happen.
Well, Cerebro wouldn't be around.
Wouldn't even happen. Cerebro wouldn't be around.
And
another thing that he built or he rebuilt within his academy that came back to bite him in the ass. And at this point, the coolest scene to me of the movie, if it was rated R, Magneto pulling the grenade triggers.
Pins. Yeah.
That was great. Like, if you just saw people getting blown up, how great seeing that would
Well, he's
been.
the only one that can function, essentially, because he has the helmet, so nothing is affecting
and
him.
when he even gets into the Cerebro, he looks at the Jason kid, he's like, bitch, I got the helmet.
And how would Jason know that the helmet works like that? It's just
it was
Magneto
funny,
being
though.
a dick.
Yeah, it was funny.
He's
though.
like, hey, look at this, you fucking cripple.
Yeah.
He's like, you have some eyes. That's cool about you.
Yeah, and so Magneto pulls the switcheroo, which explains why he volunteered to go after Cerebro in the first place. Great. Because honestly, when you let's think about this scene. You thought the movie was over. Like, the movie seemed like it was over. And then Magneto just pulls the old switcheroo. Mystique transforms into Stryker, and they tell him to kill all the mutants. Here's my problem with that, though, is I don't know, like, how controlled Jason is.
Yeah.
But why would he think that Stryker would want to kill himself? Like,
Well, they show that he's sort of a robot, and also that he's not necessarily a mind reader.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know that it's not Stryker, and at this point, they show in his subconscious how afraid he is of things fucking up.
Yeah.
Like when Storm starts making it too cold, or he thinks something's fucking up with Xavier, like the little kid freaks out.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just like, I just need to do this for my dad because that's where I'm at right now.
That's true.
So I don't know. They don't like.
Yeah, because he's like, he's gonna be mad at me. So
yeah.
He was pissed. So yeah, that's cool. And Stryker, of course, is trying to dip like Stryker always does in all the movies, and Wolverine catches him
out of nowhere. Wolverine's just following this full like.
A little great exchange though. Like a cool exchange. Of course, Wolverine's not helping anything. He doesn't give a fuck, right?
No, Wolverine didn't care this whole time. He was like, dude, if Professor X is gonna
He's
fuck
like, wait,
me,
where's this alcohol at the lake? I still thought it was goddamn alcohol.
He's like, they keep saying fucking alcohol. Like, I'm getting a little confused here. This bald guy fucking lied to me, so I don't give a fuck about him. I'm just gonna do what I was doing.
Yeah, that's great. And their little exchange is great because if you know Wolverine's origins, which didn't come out yet.
No.
What Stryker says to him, he's like, if you know what you were, you volunteered for the procedure, all that shit. And
yeah, and so it shows that but Logan even says some shit to Stryker. He's like, okay, well, I'm not really trying to kill you.
Yeah.
But if we're going to die, you're going to die with us.
Which is a great twist on the theme, right?
Yeah.
Because Stryker wanted to get rid of all mutants. He thought mutants were, I don't know if they were terrible or if what happened with his son, he just didn't want them existing anymore.
Yeah, well, essentially his wife would still be around.
It sort of played to this theme, and I think that's what it really was his wife dying.
Well, I don't get what his contingency plan with this was. Okay, you kill all of one batch of mutant, but who's to say the next generation isn't just going to have more mutants?
I don't know. That's true. So, yeah, and I like that. And Stryker tells Wolverine he's an animal. And if you find out your past, he's like, come with me, Wolverine. You'll find out who you are.
Yeah, he's
you
fucking
fucking murderous, homeless animal.
When he's walking out with the kid, he's like...
Well, no, that's at the very end.
So before that.
Yeah.
Calls...
That's just what he says to him when he chains him to the helicopter.
Oh, that's
And
right.
Wolverine is so stupid that he can't even chain him to the helicopter correctly. Like, Stryker's about to get out. And then Magneto just comes in, swoops on the helicopter, and of course Pyro's like, I'm done with this kiddie table shit. So he leaves the fucking Rogue and Iceman, and what happens?
How fucked up does Stryker get? That's what I like more, is when Magneto's walking out, and he pretty much looks at him, and Stryker's already fucking getting fucked up by Cerebro. He hurts him more. Yeah. He gives this speech, he's like, well, we'll no longer beef anymore because you just won't be around. And then he tightens the fucking cord on him even more.
Yeah.
Sonny, we keep running into each other. Mark my words, it'll never happen again.
Yeah.
It's just to fuck with
him.
Oh,
no, he takes the chains and puts them, on a wall.
Well, that too, but at first when he's attached he just grips the cords so that he gets hurt more. It's like, he's already dying.
Yeah, that's true.
Magneto's just being a dick.
And at this point, Cyclops and Jean had their little fight, which was cool. And Cyclops gets, he wakes up somehow from the serum. And...
Well, the Cyclops fight was happened way before when he first...
Yeah, way before, yeah. But at this point, Jean Grey is just walking them to the Cerebro part, where Jason is now trying to kill, or Xavier's now about to kill all the humans.
And that's...
And, it's funny, because Cyclops is like, he rolls up and like they're like, how are we gonna get in there? And then Storm's like, come on, Nightcrawler. And Cyclops like, who the fuck is this blue asshole? Like,
Yeah.
who the fuck is this guy? And then what does Nightcrawler try and fucking do?
Oh, Nightcrawler
What does
tries
he?
to
What does he
fucking
do?
introduce himself.
Yeah.
And he's like, hello, I'm Nightcrawler. And then they just cut off. They're like, we don't have fucking time for your life story here, bub.
Yeah, like shut the fuck up. And so he gets them into.
And I like how he's about to, just like a true drug dealer, shoot first, ask questions later.
yeah.
Cyclops like, what if I just blow up the door?
Yeah.
It's like, well, that will kill everyone, you fucking drug dealer. Like, stop thinking like a hood rat and
So-
start fucking doing something.
Nightcrawler gets Storm in there. They stop it from happening. Storm
Which
freezes
he doesn't even
out.
want to at first. He's like,
Yeah.
we could get stuck in
Yeah,
Zavala.
in the vault.
And then he transports in, and it's the little kid. And at this point, I'm sort of over the kid.
Yeah, I'm sort of over it, but it's all right. And she freezes him out, right? Like that's kind of cool, but it makes you think like, where is she getting the weather from? Like,
Well, there's moisture in the air, you
yeah,
have to
well,
assume.
okay,
It is a
but-
waterfall.
And they get Xavier out, and they just leave Jason to die.
Yeah, he
I
teleports-
love that shit, bro. They said fuck that guy.
And
Like,
fucking, he couldn't. They show that he can take clothes and a knife with him. He couldn't have teleported the goddamn wheelchair too. Like, did you notice that shit? They teleport him without the wheelchair so that he's more of an inconvenience on them. And second, why didn't he just? Well, I guess in this movie they don't set up that he can teleport to places.
he's a liability, bro. Xavier is a liability.
Yeah, but I guess in my mind they haven't set up that he can teleport to places he's already been, just to places he can see. So I guess he can't take them back to the ship all one at a time. Maybe he can. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, they would. Why didn't Nightcrawler just fucking teleport them all back to the ship?
He could have teleported Jason and got him out there.
No,
But they were like,
he
fuck that
chose
guy.
not to.
Yeah, he.
And he'll get a big old fucking angelic symbol for that one.
And they go out, and Wolverine's like, I thought there was a helicopter here.
Yeah, Wolverine says,
they're-
like, it's like, well, last time I was out here fucking leaving you guys up the creek without a paddle, there was a helicopter.
Yeah, and Wolverine finally decides to go help them. He's like, oh, I think maybe I should be a fucking good guy now, and like goes and get like he closes the door at the damn. So.
And we missed the one. I forgot to mention this. We did miss where they get the kids on the one part of like really shitty editing they did in the video.
Yeah,
where-
you noticed this. I didn't notice it at first.
So when they do it, they show Storm and Nightcrawler walking to save the kids, and it shows all the kids in the cell at first. And you're not supposed to see it, but I'm assuming because this was made in 2003 or 4 and I watched it on Blu-ray, you can see Nightcrawler standing there with his arms up against the wall waiting for his scene, which is the next scene where he jumps out supposedly and transport there, jumps in front of the kids. But it just shows, so you can just see his outline of him waiting.
Yeah.
Like that, and it shows you how Nightcrawler actually works. There's just 100 of him in different places. He's waiting in the
That's funny.
shadows.
Yeah, you're right. And at this point, they're trying to get the, they're trying to figure out what happened to the helicopter. And another convenient thing to me, Rogue is like, oh, I'm done with this kitty shit too. Let me go fly a jet conveniently, like when
Yeah.
they need the jet. And it's actually not that bad because she actually fucks the jet up because she's useless as shit.
So is that the convenience of what they're about to do next? Is that she fucks the jet up? So the next
I
scene
don't know.
has to
Yeah.
happen.
And then as Wolverine gets away, he has another exchange with Stryker, who's chained on the wall.
And Stryker's like, you gonna listen to me or those animals?
Yeah, and it's like, this is another good theme, like tying back to what happened at the Academy. Like, he could have gone with Stryker, figure out his past, but he chose to go with the X-Men. And that was, I really thought that was solid development for
Yeah.
Wolverine.
And the fact that he's not gonna kill them.
Yeah.
His Stryker.
So that, I thought that was great. And they can't get the jet off the ground, and the flood is happening because, of course, the X-Men don't give a shit. They just flood places, too. So
Right? Where's all the fuck? So this is a huge dam, too.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is that going?
Bro, I'm telling you, they don't care about anything. The X-Men do whatever the fuck they want. Fuck cops, fuck the military, fuck the president, fuck environmental issues. X-Men gotta do what they gotta do.
Well,
you know?
right? So you think about
Even though
it.
they're causing their own problems in this fucking...
Yeah. You think about it, they're like, fuck human affairs and just fuck the world. We're just concerned with mutant affairs and we're going to go
Yeah.
fight bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, that's their mentality is we're going to go fight bad guys.
And so at this point, Jean, she phoenixes out and she saves the group, lifts the jet, gets killed, and Cyclops has his first real acting opportunity. And
Which comes out of nowhere. Okay, and that's what I don't get. So, obviously, Cyclops hasn't seen this little fake romance happen.
Yeah.
But when Logan's crying, he's like, she's gone. He's like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's like, dude, I know you've been trying to fuck Jean Grey.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, fuck you. Like,
he's-
stop trying to pretend like me and you have the same, like, thing with each other.
And he says it later to him when they're back at the mansion after all said and done.
Yeah.
He's like, they jump back into their stupid fucking Xavier exposition because he hasn't been talking enough during this movie, apparently. So they have to explain the cause of the movie, essentially. He's like, Jean, she didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
And Logan's like, she did have a choice. She chose you, bub.
Yeah.
Which, if I were fucking... Cyclops, I'd have looked at him and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who is
I'll
this?
zap you right now.
Yeah,
dog.
it's like, who is this a race between? What,
Yeah.
she was about to fuck you? I might not care about her as much now.
Yeah, and so as the jet gets fixed, Xavier's like, we have to get to Washington because of course they need to go yoke the president.
Yeah,
because they're the X-Men, and this is another one of the greatest scenes to me in Marvel in comic book movies. Is it's a little corny, how they. I'll get to that. Actually, let's just explain it as is. They yoke the president. They essentially tell the president, look, we did exactly what y'all thought we would do in X-Men 1, and we used a girl that could walk through walls to get into your facilities and get the shit about Stryker. We know you said it was okay to put Stryker in our academy.
Yeah.
We know what's going on because the president is about to make a speech about basically starting war with the mutants.
Yeah.
And Xavier's like, look, like, you say this shit, look, here's what's really was going on. And if you got a problem with it, you got a problem with us, we're about to be at your doorstep and we're gonna murder you.
Well, he literally says
so literally it ties back the whole first part of the movie, which Stryker sent Nightcrawler, but it's like they basically just threaten the president that, look, we will fucking go to war with the humans and you and thump if it means we have to.
And doesn't it seem like it is like a gang thing because they're talking shit like, yo, we got this, and this, and fucking even Nightcrawler, like, we got a kid to walk through the wall, and Nightcrawler's like, yeah, the fuck we do. He's like laughing in the corner, and
Wolverine's like, we'll be watching you.
Yeah, he tells him, he's like, they're either like, fucking fight us or be cool, but we're gonna fucking fight if there's a problem, and we're gonna watch you.
Yeah.
Like, we will...
This is said to the president. They break into the White House again and say this to the president during a live broadcast.
Yeah.
That's how much the X-Men don't give a fuck about anything.
What if they are selling drugs?
But this is why I liked X2 so much, because even if that wasn't the point of the movie, that's what I got from it, and that's badass to me.
Yeah.
The X-Men, to me, in this movie, are just, all of them are assholes. Every single one of them. Like, I don't even need to call each individually one of them assholes. They are all assholes, especially Stryker, especially Xavier, especially Magneto, especially drunk homeless Wolverine. It's like, they are all assholes. And then it cuts out to again, Xavier being a shitty teacher, and he has to look out the window and have a fucking narrative thought to himself about Phoenix and Jean Grey. And
yeah, which is weird because it's being narrated by Jean Grey's voice.
Yeah.
It's his thought being narrated by her voice.
And, at the end of the day, you feel, like, when this movie ends, you feel fucking satisfied.
Yeah, I
like,
didn't mind watching it a lot.
Completely satisfied.
Yeah.
And
some of the other movies, it ends and you're like, fuck me. But this one, we watched it, 4 times?
Yeah.
Dude,
I've watched the movie at least, 5 or 6 times.
But I mean, since...
Yeah,
for
recently.
For this podcast, we watched it at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And each time obviously replayability in such a short amount of time is going to diminish, but entertainment value didn't really diminish.
Yeah.
It was still interesting. It was just like too long.
Yeah.
Essentially to watch that many times. But if you were you could watch this once a month.
This is the easiest. I mean, I honestly, I wanted to go higher, but it's not as good. It's not, it just can't be over a 9. Even though, like, dude, this is, put it this way, this is a very strong 8.7 for me.
Yeah.
It could borderline on 9. I just don't think technically it's better than some other comic book movies, especially in the MCU.
Well, yeah, and if we were scoring it just by X-Men standards, like if we used the X-Men obviously Apocalypse have a 0, and this shit would be like a 10.5 compared to Apocalypse. Like, honestly, compared to Apocalypse,
everything's a 10.5.
This shit was the best movie ever created.
All right, you ready to do our list?
Yeah, let's do it. Before your neighbors have to microwave their whole life's meal.
Those fucking hillbillies.
They suck. What do they have? They have like a freezer full
They
of
have
hungry
crystal
men.
meth, that's for sure.
I can smell the plastic.
Yeah, number 9, X-Men Apocalypse, with a 1.7. And I give all points to that because not only does Apocalypse an old, lonely man that didn't understand anything, and that's what pissed him off, he built a shrine for him and his friends as he built his pyramid. so that he can stick his purple
Yeah, he
orgasm
did.
subconscious in Xavier, so he can have a crippled body.
Yeah, he did.
Number 8, the MTV Jam special X-Men 1 with a 4.1.
Oh God.
I'd rather hear 5 Travis Scott albums before I watch that movie again. And Travis Scott fucking sucks.
He is MTV.
Another thing I want to mention, if you watch Travis Scott videos, he might be the devil.
So is Lil Uzi.
He's just... What are those things that you turn and look through? What the fuck are they? Oh,
Kaleidoscope?
he's the devil. Like, he creates double images in a kaleidoscope. That's his fucking videos. Fuck you, Travis Scott. Number 7.
Oh, goosebumps.
Number 7, the Wolverine with a 4.4. And I give all points to a made-up scene I'm about to make up right now where Mario Kart fucking pissed on a steel pipe and Wolverine drank it from 6 feet away. That was their sexual experience.
You can find that on Pornhub.
Number 6, X-Men Wolverine Origins with a 5.0. I give all points to that to the Blob just because I like to do his impression.
Yeah, he's great.
I got some pussy, so I'm tattooed it on my wiener.
Did you call me Blob?
It's gonna stretch out too. My wiener actually gains weight, not size.
Oh shit.
Number 5, X-Men Last Stand. I think anytime we just make fun of people's dicks, it sounds funny to us.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'll tell you 38-year-olds watching, or not watching, but listening, because you'll never see our faces. But if you're listening and you still drink Mountain Dew, I'm still going to make fun of you. Good luck with your sperm. What's up with that shit, too, that I'm seeing on World Star? These bitches are, like, putting Mountain Dew in their ass. Have you seen that shit?
I have not seen that shit, and that sounds like a
It's
Mountain
like some
Dew
hillbilly
colonic.
shit. Yeah, apparently it clears the system.
It fills it with a different kind of cancer.
Did I say number 5, X-Men Last Stand, 6.2. I gave all points to that because they finally made Pyro look like Mark McGrath. Like, they were hinting at boy band shit, and they were like, we're just going to make him look like Mark McGrath. Except for that, the plastic surgery and his fucking eyebrows didn't get erased. Number 4, the X-Men First Class with a 7.2. The first start of X-Men rewriting history, because they saved the world in the Cold War.
Yeah, they just say, hey, fuck it, world history.
Metal.
We're part of you now. We're part of world history now.
Number 3, The Gaze of Future Past was an 8.2. And the only thing that movie was missing was Harvey Milk. Number 2, X2. This movie with an 8.7. Pretty fucking good movie. I'm not even going to say anything about it because it's a good fucking
Yeah, it
movie.
was solid. I'll watch it again.
Yeah. It makes me want to go to Alcohol Lake and not find anything and just give up after 2 minutes. Because I couldn't sniff it out. Notice that he really did do that. He just sniffed it out. I was like, all right, there's nothing.
Yeah, I don't smell the ethanol. Let's go.
Go ahead.
So now for my irrelevant ass list. At number
The host!
The host. I'm
The
not.
co-host!
Which I'm not. The co-host. Number 9. Apocalypse with a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck.
You generous dick.
That was a little too generous. I
Yeah.
want to give it nothing.
Yeah.
Can I give it nothing? Is that a thing?
Yeah. X-Men Apocalypse ranking 9.
9.
Score nothing.
Score nothing. Don't
Mr. Nobody.
Mr. Yeah, don't ever fucking.
I'm in
watch
nowhere
this.
because I'm Mr. Nobody. Ignore my fucking lower apprentice. He's nothing.
He's less than nobody. Number 8. X-Men 1. 1? X1?
Yeah.
Fucking with a 3. Just because, I think the only thing I really liked about it was Scott Summers being a dick.
And he's just like, yeah, bro.
He's like, yeah, let me do some poses real quick with my glasses.
Let me sell some blow. That's what really Jean Grey was. It's like he turned her into his sex slave.
She's a mule.
Yeah.
He just shoves the
He
blow
got
up
her.
her
He got her
asshole.
drugged out.
And she fucking tricks the customs agents.
Xavier's like, that's fine with me. It makes me easier to touch her.
He's like, I like fishing out the coke. It's pleasurable. Number 7. The Wolverine. And I gave it a 3.5. I really wish that he had done, like, some Japanese festivals.
Right?
Like, and just walk
With just
around.
the penises?
Yeah, just walk
The
around
penis
confused.
festival?
Like, bub, what's going on here?
Bub, these are small penises, bub.
He's like, my penis regenerates. I cut it off, it gets bigger.
That's what's funny to me about the Japanese penis festivals is that even when you see the penises, it's like it's very small penises.
It has
They're
very
short,
large
compact
balls.
penis.
And giant heads. Is that how it is out there?
I guess so.
Number 6.
When you eat a lot of mercury, I guess that's what your penis looks like.
Number 6. X-Men Origins, The Wolverine, and I gave that a 5. And yeah, you're right. Blob might be the best character. Or seeing Will.i.am just trance about.
Yeah.
That one was good. Why is
Or
he
just
in that movie?
just see Gambit be a Louisiana douchebag.
Oh,
He's
shit.
like, do I owe you money? Oh, I am Remy LeBeau.
He's like, yes, I like raping people. That's why I'm on the run. I win in cards, you go down on me.
Let me propel myself down to fucking kill you with my fucking jester cane.
Number 5, X-Men Last.
I don't even know if a jester cane exists.
I don't.
I just made that up. He did propel down on a fucking cane.
It had like a crystal in it, which they implied was powerful, I guess, but who knows. Number 5, X-Men The Last Stand, and I gave it a 6, because that's how many times you see fucking Scott Summers cry.
That also teaches you a life lesson, is to avoid a red hairs period.
Yeah, just avoid a crazy lady that is down with you and her boyfriend. How about that? Number 4, X-Men First Class. I gave it a 7.5. I wish I could go back to class and learn some shit, but whatever. I'm too old now. Fucking number 3, Days of Future Past. 7.8. And if this movie was real, I could go back to class and learn some shit. But unfortunately, Kitty won't be groping my forehead anytime soon.
Well, and Kitty can make you have sex within yourself. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she'll let you jizz through
She can
her.
disappear in your body and you can, like, fuck her within yourself.
Oh, what if she played a trick on you? You're like fucking her, right? And she goes all weird, and you're at a weird angle. You
Bro,
jizz on
you
yourself.
could nut in her, like, from the back, and the nut could come out of her mouth.
No, I'm saying
She
like,
could spit it out. She could spit it out through her vagina.
what if you're like riding her so your dick was pointing up and you nut on yourself? She just plays a trick on you.
She's like, fuck her.
Fuck her. Number 2, this movie, X2, 8.5. It's a solid fucking movie. Buy it on Blu-ray. I'll support this one, Bryan Singer. Just this one.
Yeah, you fucking...
Oh, I fucking hate you, Bryan Singer. But that's my list.
You STD carrying motherfucker. But yeah, next. You guys could guess what's next. It's sort of gay and it's sort of hilarious and it's really violent and it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. How about that? Just fucking subscribe, like I said.
Subscribe. Love us.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Find our shitty release schedules. Find Tim's fucking shitty computer skills.
And
find the stupid shit that we say that probably gets people to unfollow us.
And if not, you'll find my suicide video on WorldStar.
Yeah, and just check out our previous episodes. All the episodes in X-Men, from Logan to fucking Days of Future Past. And this next one's about to come out. We're going to throw a bunch of episodes at you, too, because Fast and Furious, we're not stopping for anything. We're just going straight into Fast and
Too
Furious.
fast and too furious.
So check out, be ready for Fast and Furious. Those are coming, all of them. Check out all the previous episodes on Harry Potter, Star Wars, MCU, and these X-Men ones. We got a lot of episodes, put it that way.
Yeah.
If you're fucking trying to backlog right now, you got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
But take your time. So like I said, this is a fucking audiobook. This wasn't meant for a bi-weekly, trans-weekly, curious weekly fucking podcast, all right? You're not turning me into Caitlyn here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I'm just saying that when all I'm saying is when the fuck did that motherfucker become Freddy Krueger's brother?
When he fucking, like, melted in the sun, apparently. He, like, stood
Because
out
he does
for
look like
too
a moldy
long.
fucking jack-o'-lantern.
That's what you get for doing the Olympics. Just stand outside all day running. Turn into a moldy jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, anyways, motherfuckers, subscribe. That's my order of opinion.